Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about the cropping tool in Photoshop. So how the document's set up right now, I have an image on the left, I have an image on the right, and I have a background layer. Alright, so I'm just going to move these slightly. On the left hand side in our toolbar, I'm going to go down and select the crop tool, which is this one right here. I can also tap C for crop on my keyboard to switch to the crop tool. And the crop tool is very similar to the transform tool, but whereas the transform tool is used to transform individual images, the crop tool transforms our overall canvas. So rather than stretching and skewing the images, it's really adjusting our view of the images. So remember, whenever we set up our new document, we typed in the height and the width and the resolution. Well, the crop tool is modifying those. So as I change this, once I hit return, or I can click this check mark up here, it changes the actual size of the image. Now, these layers still exist outside of the canvas, so I can still drag them around. I can still use my transform tool by hitting Command T, Control T on Windows, and adjusting it. All those pixels still exist outside of our canvas, but whenever we save this, we're only getting an image that's this size. So let's go back to the crop tool. Again, that's C on the keyboard. Make another adjustment. So you grab one of these corners or these sides, and that will adjust the size of your canvas. Now up here at the top, we have various settings that we can adjust. I'm going to start in the middle here. These are different overlays that you can use. Right now we're using the rule of thirds overlay, which draws these lines, these kind of tic-tac-toe lines, across our cropping tool. This allows you to use these as kind of guides to compose. It's very common in photography and painting even to compose based on the rule of thirds, where we put subjects where these lines intersect. So the head of this astronaut is on the intersection of these two lines right here. His body's right here on this intersection. We have this radar right here. But this looks a lot better, for instance, than if this was composed, say, like this, where he's dead center. There's other overlays in here, more detailed grid, golden spiral, just kind of various compositional tools that you can use. We go back to rule of thirds. There's also the straighten tool right here. Whenever I click this, it changes my cursor to the straighten bubble level tool. What this allows me to do is actually draw a line within my image and straighten the image based on that. So what I've done is I've clicked and dragged, starting here at the horizon line, and dragging it all the way over to the other side of my horizon line. And whenever I release, it straightens. See how it just rotated the image? Straightens the image based on that line. This is extremely useful when working with photos or other images that maybe you've taken that aren't necessarily straight, or they weren't shot on a tripod. So I hit return and see it's straightened the image based on this back line. I'm going to undo that by hitting Command Z or Control Z. So again, using the crop tool, that's C on the keyboard, I can drag the crop to any size. I can also hold down Shift and it will constrain it, just like as if we were using the transform tools before. So Shift, it's constrained. If I release Shift, it's not constrained. There's other settings up here. For instance, on this mode, the WXHX resolution, which is width, height, and resolution mode, we can actually type in manual values. So I could type in 1920 pixels, PX, by 1080 pixels, PX, and hit return and it will crop to that. So let's say if I know that my final format should be 100 pixels by 100 pixels, it's going to crop to that size. We can also type in inches here. So 5 inches by 4 inches. I'm going to click clear to clear those. There's also various ratios within here. So 16 by 9, this is like what a standard television uses. 1 to 1 would be a square. So just quick, easy little adjustments. And again, I just click clear to clear those adjustments and allow myself to be unconstrained with the tool. That is pretty much the crop tool.